But give them.
Check. That's fine. We have to.
Hey folks, it is Wednesday, November 6th, which makes this my 44th birthday. Holy crap, I'm old. It is 5:05 p.m. and outside the temperature is around 18 degrees Celsius, and I'm here at Union Station. This would be, I guess, in the midst of the afternoon rush hour. Just saw a piece of lint on the lens of the camera there. And for this one, I'm going to head on up to street level. And I'll walk up to Front Street, and I'll head west over to Lower Simcoe. And then it'll be south for a walk around an area known as the South Core. The strong smell of weed is in the air. And as soon as this walk is done, I'm planning on doing a live stream. This is Front and Bay Street. That's me, hello. And just to the north is the financial district. And there's the South Core. Where else but to the south? And no, you're not seeing things. It is 5:07 p.m. and it's getting dark already.
Okay, here, I want to
For reasons that don't make sense, we adjusted our clocks a few days ago to make it darker an hour earlier. Just in case the weather turning cold wasn't depressing enough, you could head down into the subway station there. I'm guessing by the end of this one, it's going to be pretty dark out. That's the Royal York Hotel just on the right. So technically this is still the financial district. Whenever I see someone taking a picture, I'm always curious what they're taking a picture of. And that lady did one right there, and now this guy turned around to snap a picture. I wonder if me turning around prompted him to do that. He might have seen two people with cameras whip around. For this time of year, the weather is quite nice.
Fixed rate.
wondering if I have any plans for my birthday. Not really. I got a haircut today. I worked out. I did my laundry. Got a video ready to go live on the channel tomorrow morning. On Friday, I'll be visiting family and possibly doing a Niagara Falls video. And on Saturday, I'll be going out for a steak dinner.
But why don't you guys tell him?
Well, I can just say I think that might be good. So we're gonna add.
There's a crowd of people making their way south on University Avenue. And police have increased their enforcement at intersections downtown recently. As that sign entails, do not block intersection. Not the best English on it, but that's a rampant problem in this city. Here's some of that famous Toronto congestion. It's kind of funny how the worst roads like Front Street and Jarvis do not have bike lanes. But if you talk to our idiot in charge, Doug Ford, he would say it's the bike lanes that are causing most of the problems for congestion in the city, when studies actually show they help with congestion. So this is Simcoe Street coming up. Simcoe Street north up front to the right and lower Simcoe to the left. Then I'll be entering the South Core, which is roughly between Front Street where I am now to the north and the lake to the south. Some might say Lakeshore Boulevard would be the southern border, but I think the lake is probably the best way to describe it. And it's bordered roughly by Simcoe Street here to the west. I think maybe Jarvis Street to the east. There's a look north up Simcoe. The sky is setting quite the mood. Way down. That's the skywalk overhead, which connects Union Station to the east, pretty much all the way to the Sky Dome and CN Tower to the west. Artwork on this underpass, which once upon a time was not an underpass. This was plugged up. On the left, we have a Delta Hotel. There's two big sports venues in this area. The Sky Dome just to the west of here, and the arena formerly known as the Air Canada Centre, now the Scotiabank Arena to the left. I heard a rumor that some big stupid corporation changed the name of the Sky Dome, but I refuse to believe it. There's a look up at the CN Tower. I was watching a video by the B1M saying Toronto is getting its first super tall, which is true, but he said super tall skyscraper. And I don't know, last I checked, the CN Tower is over 300 meters tall. I think that would qualify, not as a building, but certainly as a skyscraper. That's over 300 meters or 1,000 feet. So this is east on Bremner Boulevard, heading back towards Union Station.
Excuse me.
Sorry. They probably want my credit card to sign me up to some kind of charitable installment plan.
Close enough to anywhere in the city.
It's quite the cool vibe at this time of night. This area has seen a huge transformation over the past decade or so. This was mostly surface level parking lots and low-rise buildings. And the world's largest underground shopping complex, The Path, was expanded south into the South Core, I think around 2014, but it's mostly above ground. In the South Core, you could enter it through that building and connect into the arena straight ahead and make your way south all the way to Queens Quay. So this is south on York Street. I think I'm going to take York Street down to Harbour Street. Have a look at the tower. And I'm going to head east where there's certainly a lot less pedestrian activity. There's one of those pesky cyclists causing all the traffic congestion. That building's connected to the path.
And they're like, well, but you don't have to like set on there. You're just gonna I would also
There's the Gardner Expressway up above.
Это вон дома, вот туда вот там едут.
And the South Core is home to several major corporate offices, including a number of major banks. Sun Life Financial, Amazon is here, Microsoft is here.
Да, мы прошли. Надо было сразу, мы прошли же.
Speaking of here, the city's most notorious Airbnb buildings are right in front of me, the ICE condos. There's a lot of horror stories emanating from those buildings. Hey, good on this cop for letting people walk before the signal. He knew he couldn't let any more vehicles into the intersection because they wouldn't be able to clear it. This is Harbour Street. And that's Love Park across the street, which opened up to a lot of fanfare last year, and the lake just south of it. And I always walk along that side of Harbour Street whenever I'm here recording or doing a stream, so let's stay on this side. Second city, or the second city in One York. They used to be located up on Mercer Street and temporarily at the Comedy Bar on Danforth Avenue, but it's good to see them back in their own proper home in a spot that was originally to be a Target Canada. Thing about this area is you don't really have that old fine grain retail and older storefronts that lend a city so much character and charm. You get a lot of concrete and glass boxes and a lot of gray. It kind of feels, well, clean and spacious, rather sterile. I think it could use a lot more greenery and less in the way of these big corporate retailers, and more smaller retailers would be good. There's a lot of people living in this area. I would take a neighborhood like the Annex over this. And at one point, this was the southern tip of of the city, right where the old Harbour Commission building is. But from the mid-1800s throughout the 1920s, there was a lot of land reclamation, infill. Out the front down to what is now the lakeshore. And I think Harbour 60, the popular steakhouse, might be closed for renovations. Man, what an amazing sky this is. I don't think the camera's doing it justice. I'm not going to catch the next light cycle anyways. There's the Weston Harbour. North up Bay Street. Oh, something smells really good. Wafting over from the Miller Tavern. One of the tallest buildings in the city is going up straight ahead. I believe that one right in front of us is the Sky Tower. It's planned to be about 95 stories. It's part of the Pinnacle 1 development. Consists of 5 different towers, each with its own unique design and purpose. I think there's going to be a hotel in there, a number of condo units, some office towers. At one point, the old Toronto Star building over there was to be reclad. And I think have some floors added to it. But that didn't pan out. I think in total, this will be 313 meters in height. The Sweet Scoop ice cream and gelato. And we've made it to Yonge Street, almost the foot of Yonge Street. Bus. And just east of a very ambitious new project going up called the Quayside Project that will feature a number of towers. And I think like a lot of the buildings in the South Core, they will be LEED certified. This has been a very long light cycle. Alright, so I think what I'll do is head south to the lake and then we'll pop over to Sugar Beach. And I'll wrap this up and then I will set up a live stream. We've got a half moon.
Okay.
Alright, I'm conflicted. Stay on this side of the street where I seldom walk or go south and get a view of the water. I know what I can do. I can dilly-dally enough to wait for the light cycle again and we'll cross back over to the north side.
I never heard that. So she might be...
The world's first boat sharing app. Make boating your reality. I imagine there'd be a pretty big deposit required and probably proof of an operating license. Look north up Yonge Street. I almost always walk on this side of Quay here. Let's cross over to the north side. Public parking, Harbourfront, Center Island, Scotiabank Arena, and the Weston Harbour Castle Hotel, $20, Monday to Friday, 5 to 9.
They were earlier today.
Yeah.
Very important. But I sort of solved by finding
This is east along the north side of Queens Quay East. A rather narrow stretch of sidewalk. Is what I'm navigating. If you want to see more of these Twilight hour walks, let me know down in the comments. It's kind of nice that it coincides with when there's a lot of people out on the streets.
I have 70.
This used to be a very industrial area. The only industry that's still surviving is the Red Path Sugar Refinery over there. They closed their Montreal location several decades ago and merged everything into this one facility.
It did actually reside.
Building's a new addition to the area. It's got a massive LCBO as well as a Farm Boy. That's kind of like a Canadian Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. Although we do have Whole Foods as well.
Good morning, John.
Jeff's running a little speed test to make sure I should be able to stream no problem. And back in the mid-2000s, I used to live just north of here in the St. Lawrence neighborhood. That was around the time this Loblaws opened up. I remember coming down here and getting groceries every now and then. Jarvis just about. Massive media conglomerate, Chorus Entertainment, just across the street. I didn't know the Score was still a thing. That was, or I guess is, a sports channel, one that always had a sports ticker on screen. always hated when they were the ones showing sports events live because they would keep the ticker on the screen. It made watching anything super distracting. Hopefully they still don't do that shit, although I don't think they probably have the rights anymore. Many live sporting events. I think Rogers and Bell have gobbled most of that up. And the smell of sugar is in the air. See if I can grab a thumbnail for my upcoming live stream here. We've made it to the man-made Sugar Beach. I don't know the 2024 politically correct, overly politically correct version of saying man-made. Human-made? That sounds pretty dumb. I'll just stick to man-made. We all know what it means. What a treat this is to be here in November. Where it's not very cold at all. It's downright pleasant. I hope you enjoyed this walk on my 44th birthday. Do let me know your thoughts and comments down below if you wish to support what I do. There's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing down below if you wish to say thanks that way. I think I'm gonna sit down here and set up my stream. I wish I had an adult beverage to enjoy while I do that. Anyways, happy birthday to me. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.